By the end of this video, you will learn how elite footwork at the kitchen line actually works, why most pickleball mistakes start with your feet, and how to move with intention so your dinks become more consistent, more aggressive, and far harder to attack. Think of this like a relaxed courtside conversation with a top pro where everything is explained in a simple, practical way you can take straight into your next game. The first big idea Mari emphasizes is that great dinking comes from hitting the same dink over and over again. That doesn't mean the ball always goes to the same place. It means your body position, balance, and contact point stay the same. The only way to do that is with intentional footwork. A lot of players reach for dinks. They lean, stretch, or flick their paddle instead of moving their feet. It feels easier in the moment, but it creates chaos in your game. Every dink looks different, your contact point changes constantly, and sooner or later, one floats up and gets punished. Mari explains that she sets her feet for every single dink. Even on balls that seem easy, she's making a small adjustment step, so the ball meets her paddle in her personal comfort zone. That's why her dinks look identical over and over again. She's not reacting late, she's preparing early. One of the simplest but most powerful concepts Mari teaches is what she calls the one step per dink rule. Every time the ball comes to you at the kitchen, you should be making at least one small step. You're not rooted to the ground. You're not waiting flat-footed. When players stop moving their feet, everything stiffens. Their legs lock up, their balance disappears, and suddenly, even a soft dink feels awkward. This is especially common at the 3.5 and 4.0 levels, where players think dinking is supposed to be casual or relaxed. In reality, good dinking is athletic. Your feet should feel light, almost like you're doing a subtle dance. You're on the balls of your feet, knees bent, ready to move in any direction. That lightness is what allows you to be both patient and aggressive at the same time. Another huge takeaway is understanding your own comfort zone. Everyone's is a little different. For Marie, her ideal forehand dink contact point is slightly in front of her body and a bit to the right with a semi-open stance. That doesn't mean that's where your comfort zone is. The key is discovering where you feel strongest, most balanced, and most controlled when you dink. Once you find that spot, your goal is simple. Move your feet so the ball always arrives there, over and over again. This mindset flips dinking from being reactive to proactive. Instead of adjusting your swing to the ball, you adjust your feet so the swing stays the same. Footwork doesn't stop when you hit the ball. In fact, what you do after your dink might be even more important. Mari points out a mistake she sees constantly. Players hit a dink cross-court and then just stand there. When you don't recover toward the middle after a cross-court dink, you leave massive gaps. You give your opponent easy angles. You also force yourself to scramble on the next ball, which leads to rush decisions. Good footwork means you hit the dink and immediately reposition. You're tracking the ball, moving with it, and staying connected to your partner. If you hit a wide dink, you should be stepping closer to the center line. Your partner shifts with you. Together, you shrink the court. This is where things start to feel unfair for your opponents. When both partners move correctly after a dink, the court suddenly feels tiny on the other side. There are no obvious targets. Every option looks risky. Mari explains that if you and your partner could reach out and touch paddles, you're probably in the right spot. You're covering the middle together, forcing your opponents to attempt low percentage shots down the line or through tiny windows. This movement also creates natural 2-on-1 pressure. If your opponent tries to go cross-court, the cross-court player is already there. If they try to go middle, the other partner has shifted over. One of the biggest benefits of the split step is that it resets your body. If you reach for a ball without moving your feet, your momentum is stuck going one way. When the next ball goes the opposite direction, you're in trouble. With a split step, every shot starts from ground zero. You're balanced, centered, and ready. It doesn't just make you faster, it makes you calmer. You stop feeling rushed, even in fast dink exchanges. At lower intermediate levels, the patterns are almost always the same. Players stand too tall. They reach instead of stepping. They hit a dink and admire it instead of recovering. They treat dinking like a neutral shot instead of a setup for offense. Mari makes an important point here. The dink is not the end goal. it's a tool. If your footwork is poor, you're forced to attack bad balls. If your footwork is solid, the right opportunities show up naturally. At the end of the day, elite footwork is about intention. You're not just reacting, you're preparing, moving, and recovering with purpose. You're finding your comfort zone and living there. You're staying light, staying low, and staying connected to your partner. If you focus on these three things, setting your feet for every dink, repositioning after every shot, and resetting your athletic stance, you'll notice a massive difference in your consistency and confidence at the kitchen line. This is the kind of improvement that doesn't just make you better at dinking. It makes the entire game feel slower, clearer, and more controllable. And that's when pickleball really starts to get fun. If you made it this far, drop a comment with the footwork idea that clicked the most for you. Keep showing up, keep moving your feet, and keep getting better at pickleball.